Hello and welcome to today's sketchbook video. The book I have here is a book from 2016 to 17, and it's actually a little bit special because it's a study sketchbook. So I usually keep several sketchbooks at once, some for like prettier drawings, often with thicker or more expensive paper, and then ones like these with very thin paper for like sketches and studies. So I'm gonna jump right in. I tried to make the first page nice anyways. Yeah, it's basically filled with studies that I usually don't show. I sometimes post my more recent studies to my Instagram stories, but I don't have them online anywhere else. So I thought it might be interesting for you to see that behind all the pretty drawings there's a lot of like sketches and studies and poses and stuff that I do on a regular basis to get better, and yeah. And sometimes you have a sketch like this, which I still really like, which is like sort of above your level that you have currently, and then it goes back to normal. So yeah, don't be discouraged if you do like one pretty sketch and then the next day they start to look like before you did that one. So it's normal. Look at this chin, like she doesn't even have one. Yeah, so a lot of post studies. Sometimes I try to draw what I see when I'm outside. I had like really scratchy lines here. I don't know what happened. I pinned off a few pages in this book. Those contain like notes on logo designs and stuff when work stuff, so I won't show those. Yeah, here we go with more studies. I still really like this one, even though it has like a lot of shading, but I think the anatomy is okay. Oh yeah, low angles are so hard. I even sometimes make little notes. So yeah, so hard. I'd still struggle with them. I did these sketches with the Bamis book. Very nice way of thinking about the body. I think it's also good to review this anatomy stuff every few years. Some ballpoint pen sketches. I don't do them often because I spray my pages with something that sets the pigments, and the ballpoint pen and that spray, they don't go together. So more pencil sketches, sometimes a little bit of color. This is a role-playing character that I had for a very long time. I loved her a lot. The weapon was just for show. She was a mage, but she had it to look more intimidating. So a lot of like sketches, ideas for drawings, some magic fan art. Sometimes I make notes about how I think I could improve my art, because I think better when I take notes and write things down. So that's what these are about. So yeah, distribution of detail, more dramatic light. Oftentimes I write those notes and then I can't properly integrate it in the next drawing, but it's still good to think about it, I guess. This one is actually like a finished drawing. It looked like this in the end. I printed these as bookmarks for some conventions a while back. So you can see some of these get used and some don't. Many don't actually. So this one is also a character I had for a while. Some animal sketches. I really like these neon colors. Sadly you can't scan them, only photograph them and not print them either, but they're so intense. So many studies. You sometimes see these characters more or less recurring. This is also like more sci-fi-ish, slowly. Some shape design practice. And compared to the first ones, I mean, these aren't great, but they are way less scratchy than at the beginning of this book, so it does help. Also like the whole anatomy gets better a little bit. Oh yeah, I tried those washi tape experiments. I'm really bad at them. Some people must have so much patience to like do this properly, and I was like, oh. But it was fun, and I think it looks really fun. I still really like this one a lot, where I cut out these little extra shapes out of the washi tape. So yeah, here we go, back to the ink pen. But most sketches are still done in pencil. So more ink. Sometimes I sketch by referencing other artists, which I never post, but it really helps to like to get a better feel for their way of doing the lines and stuff. So character, more characters. Oh yeah, here I did the under sketches with like the marker, and then drew over it in ink. I think this is slowly marking I'm more and more leaning into the ink stuff time. So here we go. These are actually not bad. I still like them. This is my coral antler character I haven't drawn in quite a while. Makes me want to draw him again. And some like normal face study sketches. But I know that I did that in a meeting without reference, so that's good. Yeah, fan art. Some houses. They were done with a technique I saw Jason Shire do. I hope that's how you pronounce his name. So you go with a light white marker in at first, and then go over it with like pen. I like them a lot, but I'm not very much of a house person to draw. Some Spider-Man sketches. Oh god, these are messy. Yeah, that's Copic markers. I did some movie still practices. And more people, ink drawings. Oh yeah, those are fun. They also did them from movies, just to get the values. I should do that more, because that's very helpful way of practicing. If you have like a few markers in a different value range, and you go like, oh, I'm only going to use these 2 markers or something, and then you try to recreate the basic mood of the image. So some personal notes. Here I wrote concentrating on shapes more than anatomy. I don't know if that helped. Maybe a little bit, giving it some more dynamic. Here's some light practice. So I have this app called Handy, where you have like hands and heads, and you can like move the lights around in steps, like you can move it in 3D. So I did it with this for practice. Also very useful to do, keep in mind. More and more ink. Oh yeah, I did this in Berlin. So these are some live drawings. And these are notes from a schoolism workshop. This is also like from live in some rest stop at McDonald's. Great. Yeah. And here I slowly started to lean less into the heavy shading and more into lines, and then shading where I wanted the eye to go to make focus points. Oh god, this looks so ugly. Can you see, like sometimes you make one sketch that is okay and the next one is like, you don't even know how to draw. So yeah, don't worry about this. Some little story designs. Some ink sketches, brush pen, some more brush pen sketches, and post studies. Like compared to the beginning, I'm gonna flip back a little bit. You can see that these are like very rough still. Like here, very rough. These are more elegant while still using less lines, so it's slowly getting there a little bit. I also sometimes write notes what I don't like about an image, so her head is too small. I think her arms are too big looking at it now. It's like, ugh. Ballpoint pen. Oh yeah, I did this live. It seems like it. I wrote like, they're moving so fast. Some ideas for sketches. Oh, I still really like this one. Even though a friend said that the bones are like little arms. And now it's like funny and I'm like, no. But yeah, some more live sketches. I went to like the station, the main station where I lived at that time, to draw people sometimes. And I also had to wait for the train for a long time, so it, like, yeah, sort of good. Here I slowly learn to go soft and then go in darker. So this is what gets you the more painterly style. If you start with these really soft lines and then you go darker and darker until you get this shape sort of carved out. Some expressions, some more post studies, some ideas for a project. Ink drawings. Oh yeah, these are not bad. Sometimes I have drawings in here where I think they could have gone into the better sketchbook, but I felt like I had a bad day and then I started them in here. So here's some more. This is Daenerys, huh? A funny dog. It's mostly people, really. I love drawing people on faces. More. Oh yeah, and they're in 2017 I discovered K-pop, and then I started to do like studies of dances. Yeah, that was really fun. Yeah, so that's the pretty like weird end of this book. It just stops sometimes, and then later I wrote in about which time span it spans. Yeah, that's it. It has a great ending or like a good inspirational whatever. So yeah, that sometimes happens too. I hope you liked it, and yeah, see you in the next video. Bye bye!